Welcome to Learn with Lili. Today we are starting with your Longman Universal Science, Class 4 Students, Chapter 12. And the name of the chapter is States of Matter, Stepping Stones. Pick the odd one out. Stick, ball, lemonade, fan, lemonade. Bottle, water, milk, juice, bottle. Air, oxygen, carbon dioxide, milk, milk. Answer the following questions. How did you differentiate between the above things from states of matter of them? Are they made up of same substances? How are they different from one another? No, they are different in materials from each other. There are so many things around us. Sun, moon, stars, buildings, windows, toys, clothes, books, bottles, cars, metro rails, soil, diamonds, air, water, plants, animals, and many more. They are all made up of different materials. The stars are made of burning gases. The moon is made of rocks. Buildings are made of bricks and cement. Windows, panes are made of glass. Toys are made of wood, plastic, or metal. Plants and animals are made up of different types of cells. What are all these materials made of? They are made up of matter. Let us learn more about matter in this chapter. Matter. Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. It is made of tiny particles called atoms and molecules. These particles are so small that we cannot see them with the unaided eye. For example, air is made of molecules of oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. Similarly, water is made up of water molecules. The molecules of matter join together to form a particular thing. In fact, all living beings and non-living things are also made of matter. The amount of space occupied by the matter, say any object, is called its volume. Matter can exist in different forms. The forms differ from each other with respect to the number of molecules present in the same space. States of matter. Matter exists in three states: solid, liquid, and gas. For example, water can exist in three different forms: ice, water, and steam. Ice is the solid state, water is the liquid state, and steam is the gaseous state. Ice, water, and gas. Now, solids. Solids have a definite shape and volume. Most solids are hard and cannot be easily compressed. For example, the shape of a pencil stays the same whether you put it into a bag or place it on a table. Actually, the molecules in the solids are tightly packed and they are close to one another. There is very little space present between them. As you can see in the picture, it is shown some solid objects. This prevents the molecules from moving around freely in solids. That is why solids have a definite shape and a definite volume. However, the shapes of some solids can be changed by applying force. For example, a rubber band stretches when it pulls. The shape of a sponge changes when we compress it. Let us perform a simple activity to understand the packing of molecules in a solid. And here is the arrangement of molecules in a solid. Activity 1. Collect some tiny marbles and try to press them hard. Are you able to press them? No. Now take an empty plastic jar and fill as many marbles as possible. Tightly close the lid of the jar. Now shake the jar. Do the marbles move freely inside the jar? No. The marbles do not move freely inside the plastic jar as they are packed tightly. Molecules in a solid are also arranged in a similar manner. Liquids. Liquids have a definite volume. However, they do not have a definite shape. Let us perform a simple activity to observe it. Activity 2. Pour water in a glass. Does water take the shape of the glass? Yes. Now pour water from the glass to the bowl. Does water take the shape of the bowl? Yes. You will find that water takes the shape of the container in which it is kept. This shows that water does not have a definite shape. Molecules in a liquid are less tightly packed than those in solids. There are some space present between them, so the molecules in a liquid can move around and enable the liquid to change its shape. This is why a liquid can take the shape of the container into which it is poured. However, the volume of liquid remains the same. Unlike solids, the movement of molecules in the liquids gives them the ability to flow. Water, oil, and milk are some examples of liquids. Thus, we can say that liquids have a fixed volume, have no fixed shape, and can flow. As you can see, this is the arrangement of molecules in a liquid. Now, gases. Gases have no definite shape and volume. Let us understand it with the help of an activity to observe it. Activity 3. Light an incense stick. Stand it on a holder. Now try to catch and hold the smoke from the incense stick on your palm. Are you able to catch? No. Now collect the smoke in an empty bottle. Close the lid of the bottle and observe the smoke inside it. Does the smoke remain at one place only? No. You cannot hold the smoke in your hand. Also, the smoke does not remain at one place. It moves around freely and fills the entire bottle. If the smoke is transferred to a bigger bottle, it spreads even more to fill the bigger bottle. In fact, the smell of the incense stick spreads quickly to all parts of the room. Let us understand why this happens. Smoke is majorly made of gases. Molecules in a gas are loosely packed. There are large spaces present between them, so the molecules in a gas can move around freely and spread out to fill the available space. This is how the smell of a room freshener spreads quickly to all parts of a room. You can smell the stink from a garbage dump even if you are passing it at a distance. Thus, we can say that gases have no fixed shape, have no fixed volume, and can flow more easily than liquids. As you can see, things filled with gas and also the arrangement of molecules in a gas. Now, know your scientist. Robert Brown, he was a Scottish scientist. He proposed the Brownian motion theory. To explain this theory, he performed an experiment. He collected pollen grains from flowers and mixed them in water. While performing the experiment, he noticed that the pollen grains showed a random movement inside the water. This movement was named as the Brownian motion after his name. So now run through. You can see in this table, solids, liquids, and gas. Solids, the molecules in solids are very tightly packed. In liquid, the molecules are less tightly packed and the molecules in gases are loosely packed. Second difference is solids have fixed shape and volume. Liquids, they do not have a fixed shape but have a fixed volume, and gas, they have neither fixed shape nor definite volume. And the third difference is they cannot flow like liquids and gases. They can flow and they can flow more easily than liquids. Now track your progress. Arrange the following in the order of increasing space between their molecules. First stable and a solid, then milk, and then air. Here the same. Solid is the paper, then oil is the liquid, and smoke is the gas. Get it right. The molecules are more tightly packed in solids as compared to the liquids. Water is an exception to this fact. The molecules in ice have more space between them than the molecules in water. Changes in states of matter. The state of matter may be changed by heating or cooling it. All such changes are reversible. Let us perform an activity to observe the changes in the state of matter. Activity 4. Number 1. Pour some water in a bowl and put it in a refrigerator. Observe the bowl after about an hour. What has happened to the water in the bowl? It has turned into ice. Number 2. Remove the bowl from the refrigerator. Leave it for about half an hour in a room. What do you see after some time? The ice has turned into water. And number 3. Pour the water from the bowl into a pan and ask the elder person to boil it. What do you see? On boiling, water begins to change into steam. Number 4. Ask the elder person to hold a plate over the pan. What happens when the water vapors from the pan touch the plate? The vapors turn into water. When water is put into the freezer, it changes into ice. Thus, on cooling, matter changes from liquid state to solid state. This process is called freezing. Formation of ice cream from milk is also a common example of freezing. Have you ever wondered why your ice cream melts when you take a long time to eat it? Actually, the temperature of the surroundings is higher than the temperature of the ice cream. The heat from the surrounding causes the ice cream to melt. Similarly, when the ice is put out from the refrigerator and is kept in a room, it changes into water. Thus, on heating, matter changes from solid state to liquid state. This process is called melting. When water is heated, it changes into water vapor or steam, which is the gaseous form of water. Thus, on heating, matter changes from liquid state to gaseous state. The process by which a liquid changes to its gaseous form is called vaporization. When water vapor or steam is cooled, it changes into water. Thus, on cooling, matter changes from gaseous stage to liquid stage. This process is called condensation. You have seen that solid changes into liquid and then into gas. However, there are some solids that directly change from solid to gaseous states. This process is called sublimation. Camphor and naphthalene are two such solids that undergo the process of sublimation. Naphthalene balls are put in woolen clothes to keep them safe from insects. These naphthalene balls slowly become smaller in size over time because of sublimation. The warm air present in the surrounding changes the solid balls into gaseous state. Solution. What do you do to make a glass of water sweet? You add some sugar in it. Stir the solution of sugar and water for some time. Can you see the sugar in the water? Now let us find out where does the sugar vanish in the water. We know that the molecules of water are loosely packed and have space between them. When the sugar is mixed in the water, the molecules of sugar fit themselves into these spaces. On stirring the water, sugar gets completely dissolved in the water. Thus, it appears that sugar has vanished in the water. However, the molecules of sugar are present in the spaces between the molecules of water. This is also the reason why there is no increase in the level of water in glass when sugar is completely dissolved in water. The volume of the water remains the same. This mixture of water and sugar is called solution. The substance that is used in smaller quantity and mixed with more of the another substance is called solute. So, in this case, sugar is the solute. The substance present in more quantity in the solution is the solvent. Hence, water is the solvent in this case. Substances that dissolve in water are called soluble substances. Sugar and salt are soluble substances. Do all solids dissolve in water? What will happen when you try to dissolve sand or mud in the water? These substances do not dissolve in water. Substances that do not dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. Pebble, husk, chalk and sawdust are some examples of insoluble substances. Let us perform an activity to check if a substance dissolves in water. Activity 5. Pour some water in a glass and mark the level of water with a place permanent marker. Add a teaspoonful of salt into it. Does the water level rise? The water level rises a little as the salt is not dissolved in the water. Now stir the water for 5 minutes. Check the water level now. The level of the water does not change. This is because the salt particles do not occupy any extra space. They simply dissolve in water to form a salt solution. Run through. Matter can be changed from one stage to another on heating or cooling through various processes such as freezing, melting, vaporization, condensation, or sublimation. Substances that dissolve in water are called soluble substances. Substances that do not dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. The liquid obtained after dissolving a solute in a solvent is called a solution. Track your progress. 2. Name the process involved in change of state of matter in the following case. Solid into gas is sublimation. Liquid into gas is vaporization. Solid into liquid is melting, and liquid to solid is freezing. Glossary. Condensation, the process by which a gas changes into a liquid on cooling. Freezing, the process by which a liquid changes into a solid on cooling. Matter, anything that has mass and occupies space. Melting, the process by which a solid changes into a liquid on heating. Solute, substance that is used in smaller quantity in the solution. Solvent, substance that is used in larger quantity in the solution. Solution, a mixture of solute and solvent. Sublimation, the process by which a solid directly changes into a gas and volume, the amount of space occupied by an object. Assessment zone. A. Tick the correct answer. Number 1. Which of the following things has a fixed shape and volume? Plastic bottle, CD paper, all of these. Number 2. Which of the following states of matter can flow? Liquid and gas. Number 3. Which of the following states of matter have a fixed volume? Solid and liquid. Number 4. Which of the following substance is insoluble in water? Chalk. Number 5. In which of the following situations the level of water in glass rises maximum when a teaspoonful of salt and sand is added in water but not stirred? B. Fill in the blanks. Number 1. There are 3 states of matter. Number 2. Ice changes into liquid on heating. Number 3. Water changes into solid on cooling. Number 4. In a solution of sugar and water, sugar is solute and water is solvent. Number 5. Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. C. State true or false. Number 1. Milk has fixed mass and volume. False. Number 2. Molecules in a gas are less lightly packed than solids. True. Number 3. Camphor changes directly into solid states. False. Number 4. Salty water is an example of a solution. True. Number 5. Liquids take the shape of a container they are poured in. True. Part D. Read the properties of 3 objects given below and identify their state. Properties. Hard but flexible, cannot flow. Solid. Easily compressible, have fixed volume. Liquids. Have no fixed shape and spreads out if not kept in container. Gas. And answer the questions. We will refer to the notebook. As you can see, here is the drawing of state of matters in solids, liquids, and in gas. Question number 1. What is matter? Give 2 examples. Anything that occupies space and has mass is called matter. For example, pen, air. Here is another beautiful drawing of change in state of matter. Liquid, solid, and gas, and you can see the changes in the matter between them. Question number 2. In which state of matter are the forces of attraction the weakest? Gas is the state of matter that the forces of attraction is the weakest. Number 3. Name the process by which solid changes into liquid, melting, solid changes into gas, sublimation, and liquid changes into gas, vaporization. Number 4. Difference between sublimation and evaporation. So, as you can see for sublimation, sublimation takes place when solids turn into a gas, and evaporation is when water turns into water vapor. For example, liquid turns into gas. Number 5, the question is, why solids are compressed easily? Solids cannot be compressed easily because the molecules in solids are tightly packed and are close to another, and there is very little space present between them. Are not compressed easily. Number 6, define solution. A mixture of solute and solvent is known as solution. Number 7, biliquids can float but solids cannot. Answer. Molecules in a liquid are less tightly packed than those in solids. There are some space present between them, so the molecules in a liquid can move around and change its shape, whereas the molecules in solids are tightly packed and close to the one another, and there is very little space present between them. This prevents the molecules from moving freely in solids. 8. Difference between solid and liquid. Solids. The molecules in solids are tightly packed. The molecules in liquid are less tightly packed. They cannot flow like liquids and gases. They can flow. They have a fixed shape and volume. They do not have a fixed shape but have a fixed volume. Difference between solute and solvent. Solute. Substance that is used in a smaller quantity in the solution. Substance that is used in a large quantity in the solution. In sugar solution in water, sugar is a solute and water is a solvent. Condensation and freezing. Condensation, the process by which a gas changes into a liquid on cooling, and the process by which a liquid changes into a solid on cooling. For example, when steam is cooled, it changes into water, and for example, when water is put in a freezer, it changes into ice. Now, when we burn incense stick in a room, how does the fragrance fill the entire room? Answer. When an incense stick burns, it produces smoke which is majorly made up of gases. Molecules in a gas are loosely packed. There are large spaces present between them, so the molecules in a gas can move freely and spread out to fill the available space. Number 2. A gas cannot be stored in an open jar. Why? Answer. Molecules in a gas are loosely packed. They have weakest force of attraction. There are large spaces present between them, so the molecules in a gas can move around freely and spread out to fill the available space. The next question. When you add sugar to water to make a solution, the volume of water does not change. Why? When sugar is completely dissolved, the molecules of sugar occupy the space between the molecules of water. This is the reason why there is no increase in the level of water in the glass when sugar is completely dissolved. Next question. If you have naphthalene balls in the open, they become smaller in size after a few days. Why? The naphthalene balls slowly become smaller in size over time because of sublimation. The warm air present in the surroundings changes the solid balls into a gaseous state. Number 4. What will happen to the level of water in a glass when we add salt in it? The water level rises a little when the salt is not dissolved in the water. When we stir the water for some time, salt gets dissolved in water. The level of the water does not change because the salt particles do not occupy any extra space. They simply dissolve in water to form a salt solution. States of Matter Worksheet 1. A. Fill in the blanks using the words given in the box. Number 1. The amount of space occupied by the matter is called its volume. Number 2. Matter exists in 3 states. Number 3. Solid has a definite shape and volume. Number 4. Liquid can flow. And number 5. Gas has no definite shape and volume. Find the odd one out. Number 1 is steam, number 2 pencil, and number 3 juice. Give reasons for the following. 1. Why the smell of room freshener spreads so quickly. It is in the notebook. Number 2. Why does a liquid take the shape of the container it is poured in? The molecules in a liquid can move and enable the liquids to change their shape. Number 4. Draw the arrangement of molecules in each state of matter. Also describe the volume and shape of that state of matter. So this is solid. We have all in the notebook. This is liquid and this is gas. Worksheet number 2. State true or false. Number 1. Water changes into ice on cooling. True. 2. Matter cannot change from solid to liquid. False. 3. Sugar and salt are insoluble in water. False. 4. Chalk cannot dissolve in water. True. 5. Camphor changes directly into solid state. False. B. Write the change of state, freezing, melting, sublimation, condensation, evaporation that takes place in the following statements. Number 1. Ice is left out on the counter. Melting. 2. Camphor fumes in air when kept uncovered. Sublimation. 3. Water is left in a freezer. Freezing. 4. Clothes are left out to dry. Evaporation. 5. Naphthalene balls become small when kept in woolen clothes. Sublimation. 6. A pond gets shallower at the end of a long hot summer. Evaporation. 7. Your hair was wet when you left the house but dries by the time you get to school. Evaporation. 8. The ice cream you are eating drips down your arm. Melting. And 9. A cold drink is wet on the outside of the glass. It is because of condensation. Worksheet number 3. Choose the correct answer. 1. Which of the following is not a solid? Ink. 2. Which of the following is soluble in water? Salt. 3. Which of the following has a fixed volume? Ice cube. 4. Which of the following process is opposite evaporation? Condensation. And 5. When we pour water from jug into a glass, what shape does it take? Shape of the glass. Answer in one word. 1. A mixture of solute and solvent is solution. 2. A solid substance which dissolves in a liquid is solute. 3. Change of liquid state into gaseous state. Vaporization. 4. Matter is made up of these tiny particles, molecules. And 5. It has a definite shape and volume. Solid. Answer the following questions. 1. What is matter made up of? Anything that has mass and occupies space is known as matter. 2. Why do clothes dry faster in summers than in winters? Clothes dry faster in summers than winters because the rate of evaporation is faster. Number 3. State 3 properties of gases. 1. The molecules are loosely packed. 2. They are neither fixed shape nor definite volume. And 3. They can flow more easily than liquids. D. Classify the following as solid, liquid, or gas. In solid, we have pencil, table, wallet, car, ice cream. Liquid, we have water, soda, shampoo. And gas, we have nitrogen and steam. So if you enjoyed my video, please do like, share, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. God bless you all.